The one true edgelord said, Morj, you said taking notes helps you get better at narrative analysis. Can you explain your process of notes? The way I do it is pretty much anything that... Okay, there's two parts of it. All right, so for me, I think anything that stands out as like a notable piece of dialogue, right? You put that down, or anything that seems like it's implied to be a statement, or any plot event that seems like it fits into... Okay, starts with dialogue. So you keep track of dialogue, right? Because dialogue is where the author is going to be first suggesting openly what the themes are of the series that are going to be important, right? Themes of the arc, etc., right? Very early in any arc, you can kind of identify the author seems to be bringing up certain points multiple times, right? In Wano, you can see isolationism being talked about multiple times, starting with Zoe to the beginning chapters of Wano, etc. Same with Spirit, same with whatever, right? So the author's always going to be talking about that. So you're keeping track of that, and you're writing that stuff down anytime that comes up, and anytime something that seems like it could be implied to be similar to that comes up, right? So like Whitebeard talking about how there's too many Conquerors users in Wano, right? That does in some way connect to the idea of leadership and stuff like that, which is a theme in Wano. So you write that down, right? So you jot down those things. Then two, anything plot-wise, so actual events that come out of things that like, oh, this seems to relate back to this idea that the author has slipped into dialogue many times, right? And then the last thing is that anytime something happens that you think is really, really good, this is the not fun part. Anytime something happens that you think is really, really good, after that scene is over or whatever, you can't just enjoy it. You have to go sit down and like really try and think and break down and write why it was really good. Okay, if you do that, I think that changes a lot, because that helps you kind of connect a lot of pieces. Because I think lots of times, like, you can say like the Robin I want to live moment, that's a really good scene when you first watch it, right? Makes you feel very emotional, etc., right? But if you sit down after watching it and then you're like, okay, why did I really like it? And then you start, like, if you just do that process, then you're going to start working backwards into some really interesting stuff that'll connect to a lot of other things in the arc. Sorry, because most likely the author has done a lot of things over the course of the arc. It's not just that he put, like, a sad backstory for Robin that then resulted in her saying, I want to live, and that flip was really cathartic or whatever. It's a lot of other ideas that probably led to that moment, us feeling like, okay, subconsciously or whatever, this feels like it completes or closes off some really significant character turmoil or conflicts and things that were happening, not just with Robin, but with the entire crew as a whole. And it sends a really strong message that connects to a lot of the other ideas that were going on in the arc, etc. Like, so that's a annoying thing, but you kind of just got to do that after any scene that you like happens.